To be successful in the world of pro wrestling, thousands of attributes are necessary: in-ring skills, charisma, good oratory, the ability to handle large audiences, and many others. However, none is more important than the support of the WWE. No matter how talented you are, if the company does not provide you with good match bookings, compelling storylines, and proper character development, you will simply never rise above mediocrity. In the best-case scenario, you will never fully reach your potential. In today's video, we will analyze athletes whom the WWE has buried for numerous reasons. But first, I'd like to ask you to give our channel a chance by subscribing, leaving a like, and clicking the bell icon. Now, let's get into our content. Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler, one of WWE's most talented performers, has been consistently underutilized and mistreated by the company. Despite his immense talent, charisma, and technical prowess, Ziggler has repeatedly been denied the opportunities he deserves. One notable instance of Ziggler being on the cusp of stardom was his Money in the Bank victory in 2012. This win promised a significant push, and when he cashed in the contract to become World Heavyweight Champion in 2013, it was a momentous occasion. However, his reign was cut short by an unfortunate concussion, and instead of being given a chance to recover and regain momentum, the company quickly relegated him back to the mid-card. This abrupt demotion hindered his ability to establish himself as a main event player. Another example is his Survivor Series 2014 performance, where Ziggler was the sole survivor in the Team Cena versus Team Authority match. This was a prime opportunity for the company to capitalize on his popularity and in-ring ability, as he single-handedly eliminated multiple top-tier opponents, including Seth Rollins. Despite this, Ziggler's push was short-lived, and he soon found himself back in inconsequential storylines, missing a sustained main event run that this victory could have sparked. The misuse of Ziggler extended to his role as a perennial underdog. His exceptional selling ability often made his opponents look formidable, but this also meant he was frequently positioned to lose high-profile matches. For instance, despite his impressive showing at TLC 2014 in a ladder match against Luke Harper, Ziggler's victories rarely led to sustained pushes, making it seem like the company did not have faith in his long-term potential. The culmination of this pattern of mistreatment was evident in his release from WWE in 2023, after nearly 2 decades with the company. Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman's career is a prime example of how mismanagement and inconsistent booking can squander a wrestler's potential. Despite his initial rise in fan support, a series of missed opportunities and poor creative decisions ultimately undermined what could have been a stellar run. From the moment Strowman debuted on the main roster as part of the Wyatt family in 2015, it was clear that WWE saw something special in him. His rapid progression from a green, unpolished trainee to a formidable powerhouse demonstrated his potential. The decision to draft him to Raw in 2016 and present him as a solo star was a strategic move that initially paid off. Strowman's series of squash matches built him up as an unstoppable force, and his involvement in high-profile feuds, particularly against Roman Reigns, further established his credibility. However, despite this strong start, Strowman's career quickly fell into a pattern of inconsistency. His feud with Roman Reigns in early 2017 was a highlight, featuring memorable moments like flipping an ambulance and defeating Reigns at Payback. Yet, these peaks were often followed by disappointing setbacks. For instance, after his dominant performance in the SummerSlam 2017 main event, he lost to Brock Lesnar in a singles match, which significantly dented his momentum. 2019 saw Strowman in various underwhelming storylines, including a forgettable feud with Bobby Lashley and a bizarre match against Tyson Fury. Even his first singles title win, the Intercontinental Championship, was short-lived and transitional. The onset of the pandemic in 2020 saw Strowman thrust into the Universal Championship picture due to Roman Reigns' absence. Strowman's title win over Goldberg at WrestleMania 36, which occurred without a live audience, was less impactful than it should have been. His subsequent feud with Bray Wyatt and eventual loss of the title further highlighted WWE's lack of long-term planning for his character. In retrospect, Strowman's career was marred by the company's chaotic creative decisions and their tendency to prioritize other stars, particularly Roman Reigns. In June 2021, Braun Strowman was surprisingly released. Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder had a modest start with his partnership with Curt Hawkins. However, his career took a drastic turn after he became the internet champion starting his vlog series, True Long Island Story. By doing so, he garnered a large fan base on his own without needing the company's goodwill. Today, analyzing how important social media is for building public figures, we can see that Zack was a wrestler well ahead of his time. Regardless, after gaining popularity, Zack had the chance to work with industry giants. Ryder's hard work culminated in him winning the United States Championship at TLC 2011. This was a crowning achievement for Ryder, who had worked tirelessly to get over with the fans without much initial support from the company. The following night, he kicked off Raw alongside CM Punk and Daniel Bryan, marking a high point in his career. Despite his growing popularity, the company booking decisions soon began to undermine Ryder. In early 2012, he was thrust into a storyline with Kane and John Cena, which saw him repeatedly attacked and humiliated. One of the most damaging moments came on the Valentine's Day episode of Raw, where Kane pushed Ryder off the stage while he was in a wheelchair. This act of violence not only sidelined Ryder, but also portrayed him as a helpless victim, significantly damaging his credibility. Ryder's woes continued when he lost the United States Championship to Jack Swagger after being forced to compete while medically unfit. This decision not only stripped Ryder of his hard-earned title, but also painted him as a weak and ineffective champion. It was a clear signal that the company did not see Ryder as a serious contender, despite his popularity. The storyline involving Eve Torres further damaged Ryder's character. Eve manipulated Ryder, leading to a series of embarrassing segments where Ryder was portrayed as naive and gullible. This culminated in Eve kicking Ryder in the groin after a match at WrestleMania, making him look foolish and weak in front of the entire universe. After several years in the mid-card, Ryder was eventually released. However, he also had one of the biggest career turnarounds in history, once again gaining popularity under his own name, and in the Indies, under the moniker Matt Cardona, he achieved great success. Brodus Clay showed a promising career in NXT and also in his early appearances in WWE, serving as the personal bodyguard for Alberto Del Rio. In addition to his clearly imposing appearance, Clay moved in a way far above average for someone of his stature and delivered decent matches. However, after a series of creative issues with the management, Clay was assigned the character Funkasaurus. This gimmick caused him to lose all his credibility with the fans, and he was used exclusively for comedic purposes until his release. And there you have it, folks. Wrestlers whose promising careers were unfortunately derailed by WWE's creative decisions. Each of these athletes had the potential to reach great heights, but were hindered by characters that failed to connect with fans and showcased none of their true talent. It's a sobering look at how critical, thoughtful, and effective character development is in the world of professional wrestling. Thanks for watching.